guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Sister Buzz. I hope you all had a great weekend. Honestly, believe it or not, I haven't spoken to my sister in days, so I have no idea what she's been up to. So, Brooklyn, the floor is yours. Please enlighten us on your weekend.
Well, my weekend was pretty great for the most part. Raymond works away a lot, so when he goes off to work, it's kind of like a readjustment for me and the kids. And so he left last week. So most of my days were spent trying to get back on schedule, back on track. But Saturday we had a super awesome day because we went to the Upside Downs 5K. My best friend since I was young, like kindergarten or something. Her son has Down syndrome. His name is Nate. We call him Nate the Great. So we all went walk and support him. And there was like 100 people with Nate the Great shirts. So that really made my heart happy to see so much love and support for him. And also, by the way, today is National Down Syndrome Day. So make sure if you want to donate to a great cause, you can look up Upside Downs or any other Down syndrome cause and make sure you donate to them because that is just a beautiful thing.
And shout out to our baby Nate. We love you so much.
Shout out to Nate. But you know, there's also times where like life just like smacks you upside the head and like tries to teach you like maybe you're not as great at things as you think you are, because literally we were jogging in the 5K. I swear we hadn't even been going for like 5 minutes. In the beginning, Holden, my 4-year-old, was like, I want to run, Mom. I was like, okay, no problem. And then 5 minutes later, he's like, okay, I'm ready to get in the stroller because we have a double stroller. And so he gets in like the little bottom seat. And because we had pulled to the side, my mom, who was pushing the stroller at the time, you know, he gets in and he's like, Gigi, we're losing Nate. So she tries to run with the stroller and hits a pothole that was on the side of the road. He flies through the sky. I fall in the pothole and like mess up my ankle trying to catch him in front of all these people. And I'm like, yeah, I feel like a bit of an idiot right now. But
my poor baby.
Yeah, I swear, like, he just flew through the sky. It reminded me of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You probably never see that show, but
you think I've never seen the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Are you kidding me?
I don't know. I mean, you watch dumb shit, but anyway.
Are you serious? I love the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Let's not get that twisted. Which I have started watching the new one that is on Paramount, I think.
Oh, the new like
have you seen
version? No, I haven't.
Yeah, exactly. Like the more modern version. It's decent actually. But anyway, continue.
He looked like Jazz flying out the front door when Uncle Phil throws Jazz out.
Yes.
That's what he looked like
out. Yeah.
Flying out of the stroller. And I was like, oh shit, trying to catch him. So that was a humbling moment. And then we went back to the event and they had like, after we'd done the 5K, I hobbled along. So we go and there's bands and a jambalaya cook-off. We ate all the jambalaya and we did all the things. And so finally we're ready to go home and our cousin Faylee was with us. And so I'm putting Rowan in the car seat and I leave her with the stroller and Holden. Well, I come back and she's putting Holden in the stroller. And I mean, in the car seat. And I look and I'm like, Faylee, you picked up the stroller? And she's like, no, I left it right there. And I'll turn and I'm like, where's the stroller? She's like, I don't know. I left it right here. And then comes jogging up this man and he's like, are y'all missing a stroller? It was just rolling down the road. And I was like,
oh my goodness.
How fucking embarrassing. Yes, I am in fact missing a stroller with all of my possessions in it. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that was
what a fucking mess, Brooklyn. Come on.
I know. And then like that later that day, we had a soccer game. And so my son's 4. Most of my soccer team is 4-year-olds. And I swear I felt like we were playing against 12-year-olds. There was this one kid. I mean,
which it doesn't help that Brooklyn knows absolutely nothing about soccer. Like she thinks just because she watched me play soccer growing up, she thinks that she can full on manage a soccer team.
First of all, they're 4-year-olds, and I think 20 years of experience watching soccer has to count for something. Second of all, I mean, I know enough to teach the basics.
But you don't even know who the ball is for when it goes out of bounds.
You're right. I don't know when it's a corner kick or a goal kick or a throw in. But hey, at least I know that those are my options. I'm just saying. Some people don't even know.
Anyway. Okay, that's true. And at least you're coaching them. I mean, because they wouldn't have had a coach if you didn't. So kudos to you for that.
But anyway, so this one kid, I swear to God, I'm not even joking. I mean, our division is 4 to 6. He looked 12, and he must have been like a descendant of Pele, because I swear he could be at one goal and kick a goal from all the way across the field. It was ridiculous. So we got absolutely slaughtered, which, is a learning experience for the kids. So that's that. And
of course, got to teach them not to be sore losers.
Yeah. And then Sunday,
because Holden's nanny is definitely a sore loser.
I know. The one game that you and Faley both came to, y'all were like, we're too competitive for this. I'm like, they're children. They're freaking children.
No, hear me out. The coach on the other team was literally getting in front of the goal. Like, our kids would try to take the ball and score, and she would literally be standing behind her defense, blocking the goal so that our kids couldn't score. So then, of course, I'm going to get competitive. My godchild was about to score a goal, and she was in the way.
Wow. I guess it happens to the best.
She was very sweet, though. I will give her that.
I think
she was very
just a
sweet.
mom
I don't
like
think it was intentional.
Yeah.
Exactly. Trying to figure it out. But I am competitive in that sense.
just a learning lesson. But I got a call from
And
Raymond.
So is Faley. Faley's cutthroat.
Yes, she is. And having her as my assistant coach, sometimes I'm like, Faley, they're 4. Don't put them in boot camp, Faley. It's okay. They're 4. Just chill out, Faley. But anyway, so I got a call from Raymond on Sunday saying he was in New York. So did you have an unexpected visitor?
Yes, surprisingly, I did. So for those of you who don't know, Brooklyn and her husband Raymond own a trucking company. So Raymond is constantly traveling all over, delivering loads in his truck, whatever. And he messaged me, I think on Friday, or maybe he tried to call me, and I denied his call because I was doing schoolwork. And I am actually that crazy sister that demands for my sister and her husband to share their locations with me. So whenever he tried calling me, I automatically checked his location because I figured he was somewhere near the area, which normally he stays clear of New York because of the crazy drivers and the traffic. So I was quite surprised to see him near New York because all the other times I've seen him, he's been in New Jersey. And he was in Staten Island, and for the first time, believe it or not, he's the first person that has ever come visit me in New York. My parents did drive my car and stuff up here when I first moved to move me into my first apartment, but other than that, since they left me here, I've been here for 2.5 years. Not a single person in my family has come to visit me, except not a family person, but my best friend, Kate Von Bulow. She came to visit me. Shout out to you, Kate. I love you. Thank you for being the only other person to come. Raymond met me in the city. He took a train to Soho and he treated my boyfriend and I, Dylan, out to lunch, and then he came to stay at my apartment, which was really, really nice. I for the first time, me and Raymond don't always see eye to eye, but I really enjoyed his company, and it was very thoughtful and sweet of him to take time out of his day to come and spend time with me. So I'm very happy. I had a good weekend.
I mean, unfortunately for all of us in this situation, you moved to New York literally, let's see. So we went to New York in the summer that I was pregnant with Rowan. You moved that August or September to
that was the summer of 2019.
Right. And so I had Rowan in January, and then in March COVID hit. So pretty much you moved there, and then COVID hit, and New York is so much more crazy about COVID laws and rules and things that it's hard for me with 2 kids to come visit you. And So it's now that things are finally starting to get back open, I think like all of us will probably try to come visit more often. Well, at least once. I say more often. We have to visit once first, right? But I know it's been
Yeah.
hard for you, like having moved away and then us not really be able to come and visit at all. So it was nice that he came.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with the whole like COVID situation, I was back home in Louisiana for a few months. Obviously, I couldn't stay in New York when COVID first hit because it was like full of uncertainties. We didn't know what was happening, and New York went into like full shutdown. So, during that period, I did come back home to Louisiana, and it was nice being around family again because I do really miss you guys. Brooklyn and I have grown up in a very family oriented, like family is very important to us. We always have like really large get-togethers. Our parents are huge entertainers. Our mom will literally, even if mom is just cooking for 4 people, she cooks for 10 people because someone's always coming over to be with our family.
Mm-hmm. Well, it doesn't even matter where they are. I mean, we were at Chris and Daphne's on Sunday, and there was a man there. I forgot his name, but it was like Chris's friend, and Dad's like trying to entertain him. And I'm like, this isn't even your house, bro. Like, stop trying to be the center of attention all the time. Gross.
Growing up, our dad has always had a job that he's been away for a few months at a time. So I had a piece of that growing up, like having to be away from him, but I've never been away from my mom for such a long period of time. And I think that's really where I struggle. And mostly with Brooklyn's children as well. Like, I do talk about how I miss my sister a lot, but ultimately it's because I really miss her kids. I've never really been a kid person. And when Brooklyn got diagnosed with thyroid cancer a long time ago, they basically told her that they didn't think that she was going to be able to have kids. So whenever I graduated high school, she got pregnant with her first child, Holden. And I mean, he kind of just changed my life, basically. When I graduated college, I had a lot of opportunities to go and play college soccer in different states and
You
at
mean
really
when you
big
graduated
Division
high
One
school?
universities. Sorry, when I graduated high school, I had all these opportunities to go and play college soccer, and get out of the state and go to these big Division One universities. But ultimately, I made the decision to stay close to home because I wanted to be there for at least the first year of Holden's life. That was always super important to me to make sure that I didn't miss anything because we didn't know if she would even have a second child. And it is just me and my sister. We don't have any other siblings. So I really wanted to make sure that I was a part of his life.
Yeah, and I always like even so growing up, I always said like I was never gonna stay in Homa. And when I was 17 and went away to college, I did not take the option of going to Nichols, which is in the next town over. So it's basically staying home. I chose to go to LSU, which was 2 hours away. And then when you and Faley, when y'all were graduating, I was like, leave, go, don't stay in this town. It's a small town. Go find out who you are. Because when I was at LSU, I really grew as a person. I learned who I was outside of this town, outside of our parents, just on my own, who I was, living day to day. And so I really preached that to you. And so for me, it was a little hard when you decided to stay at Nichols because I thought like you really needed to leave the nest and go. But you decided to stay, and that was fine. That was your choice. But then I ended up moving home and you left for New York. So then we were role reversed because when we were discussing having Rowan, my second child, when we were discussing having a second child, Raymond and I had a long conversation, and it was just, as much as I cried and was upset, and he didn't really want to move here either, we knew it made the most sense for our family to be here in the town with my family because I have a lot more support with people who don't work. Like mom doesn't work. When dad's home from work, he, has no obligations. I have aunts who can help me and stuff. Whereas my in-laws, as much as they love us and I love my kids, they have jobs that weren't conducive to helping me raise the kids when I needed help and was all alone because Raymond was gone. So we just knew it was better for us to move here, which was a big struggle for me and him. But then you were gone, so it was like, it was crazy because the roles just completely reversed.
Yep. So whenever Brooklyn moved to Louisiana to live with my parents, whenever Brooklyn moved to Homa to live with my parents, that's when I left for New York. Which, if you guys don't like follow me on Instagram and you don't know my whole life story from there, I retired after my first year of college soccer due to a thyroid scare. Basically, we found a lump in my thyroid. I didn't pass my physical, and I had kind of just like come to terms with the idea that I didn't want to play soccer for the rest of my life. Even if that opportunity was to arise or not arise, I knew that it was something that I didn't want to do and that I wanted more than what, the town I was raised in had to offer me. So eventually, I made the decision to move to New York to model full time. And I don't regret it by any means, but, living away from home is definitely difficult. And not so much like home, but honestly, your hometown. Like, there was a time that Brooklyn and I moved to Arkansas with our parents because our dad got transferred there for something. And that was also very, very difficult for me, just being away from my hometown, because at that time, you guys have heard us talk about Faley, but we are very close with our cousins, and leaving them was very, very difficult for me.
No, it was difficult for me. Arkansas was, even though I had moved to Baton Rouge and I had been away from home, for those 4 years, probably 4 years, because I think it was right after I graduated from LSU that I ended up going to meet y'all in Arkansas. It was so much further from home. It was like, it's like a 9-hour drive. And I love Arkansas now. I try to visit whenever I can. I have friends and family. Well, they're not family, but they're like family to us there. And
yeah, basically family.
Yeah, they definitely have a piece of my heart. Arkansas does now. And I do try to go back. And I do think that I grew up a lot living there and I had a lot of life lessons there. But long term, it just wasn't the situation I think I wanted to be in.
It wasn't home.
No,
it wasn't our hometown.
No. And then I came back and lived in Baton Rouge and New Orleans before finally coming back home again.
So there's a lot of like struggle with not only being away from my family, but also just being away from my hometown. It's a different culture up here. When I first moved to New York, like, I had a major culture shock. So I moved in with this adorable, sweet little Jamaican lady in a little town called Valley Stream. And I was living in a basement. And this little Jamaican lady, she didn't have any kids. So when I moved in, she basically took me under her wing. And she was there for me when I was very, very lonely. And I would cry every single day because, the model culture, like, it looks like it's all glamorous and it's amazing, but it's not by any means. The modeling industry has a big dark side. They have unrealistic body images. There's big issues with like sexual harassment from photographers and scouts and agents, just people with authority. There's issues like, I was offered to move into a modeling apartment, but these modeling apartments are literally like 2-bedroom apartments with bunk beds, and they charge you like $2,000 to sleep on a bunk bed in a shared room with like 7 other people. Like, it was a big culture shock when I first moved here, a very, very big culture shock.
But I think, sometimes that's part of the process, whether you're an actress or an actor or a musician or
Absolutely.
A model. Like, sometimes you just have to sleep in your car or sleep in that bunk bed for $2,000 or whatever it is it takes to just make it. And I think the most successful people are the ones who just scrimped and saved and scrounged and found a way. But I think, it's really hard for you sometimes with just the model ideals they expect of you, because you are like a size 4 and it's like they either want you to be a size 00 or they want you to be quote unquote plus size. And that's not fair because you are a small girl. Like, you're not huge, and to tag you as plus
Yeah.
size is an injustice to everyone.
Yeah, definitely. And like, I definitely agree with you. Like, there's a lot of people here that do live in their cars. There's a lot of people here that sleep on like the subway, and they literally grind it out to get where it is that they want to be. But I think that it's really difficult for me because I don't want to have to compromise who I am for someone else's standards. You know, just because the modeling standards is a 00, that is not who I want to be. I don't want to have to eat, like, I've literally had an agency tell me that they love my face, they love my personality, but I need to eat apples for a straight week to make sure that I lose 10 pounds to be on the runway. And
Which
to me, that is compromising who I am and what I stand for. And I don't ever want my godchildren to grow up. Like, I don't want Holden, Brooklyn's kids, Holden and Rowan, to grow up and be like, Nanny, why are you successful? And I have to look at them and say, because I compromised who I was and I only ate an apple for a week. Like, and some people are willing to do that. And that's, you know, that's great. Kudos to them. But that's just not what I want to stand for as a person.
Well, I think it's not so much, eating an apple a day, whatever. Like, if you really
But to
want
clarify, just an apple, like just an apple and a bottle of water. That's all they told me to eat. One apple and to drink water for the rest of the day.
and that in itself is an issue, not because that's an eating disorder. If you're eating a bottle,
Correct.
one apple and a
That's my
bottle
mental
of water,
health that they're screwing with.
right? That is an eating disorder they are pushing on you, pretty much. And it's sad that designers haven't figured out that 00 women are not the norm. It's okay to be 00. If that is your natural physique, that is beautiful, that's wonderful, you're
Absolutely.
great. That's the way God made you. But 9 women out of 10 are not a 00. They're a little bit bigger. They're maybe your size, a size 4 with a little bit bigger hips, or, me, I'm plus size. I have a bigger butt. I'm very, busty. Women exist in way too many shapes and sizes for designers at this point in life to think that they can get away with making size 00 clothes and them fitting across the board. Sure, high-end designers, Chanel,
Absolutely.
whatever, they can get away with it, I guess, because their clothes are so expensive that they probably don't have a big market for consumers. But lower brands need to realize that there needs to be more options. Like, they can't pick models who are 00 because the average woman is not a 00, nor are they going to buy clothes that only fit a 00. It's just not going to happen.
Well, I definitely think that society is definitely more accepting of, average sized women, plus sized women, etc. Like, I definitely think that society standards have changed and people love the whole self-love movement. They love being accepting of all body types. And as much as these brands want to portray that they are on that trend, which it shouldn't even be considered a trend, but they are standing with society to back these people, it's not true at all. Like, I went to a casting and they told me, even though I'm a size 4, they told me that they would love to hire me, but I need to stand with the plus size women. And the lowest number that they had was a size 8. So you're going to put someone who's a size 4 with a size 8? I don't think that 8 should be considered plus size. So why should a size 4 be considered plus size? Like, I'm insecure as it is. I don't want anyone else to feel insecure. Like, that's disgusting to me.
Well, that's a slap in the face to plus size women who are actually dealing with their, insecurities and their weight and things, to say like,
exactly,
the ideal plus size is an
horrible.
8. Like, come on. That's not what women in this country, or maybe even in the world, that's acceptable. I don't know. But in this country, that's not how things go. And I think that the more designers who realize that there's just more than one body type, those who get that are going to be more successful. Because the other day when our grandmother died, 2 weeks ago, My aunt, I said something about the funeral and she was like, oh my God, I have nothing to wear. I'm already dreading going shopping.
Mm-hmm.
This is just going to be a nightmare. Nothing ever fits me. And I'm like, look, I'm plus size. Things don't fit me right. But if you take a little time, you go to the right stores and you try on multiple things, we're going to find something. And it's just sad that she
Right.
has to feel so defeated before she even steps into a mall or a store.
Exactly.
Like,
It's
she
so
should
sad.
feel
It's so
like
sad.
there is something out there for her. Now, I'm not going to say that there's going to be as many options as there are for a size 8 or a size 4. It's not going to happen. But,
Right.
stores like Torrid or the Target line, Ava and Viv, they do a really good job at trying to make things at least trendy and cute and nice and affordable for the most part for plus size women, because just because we're a
Exactly.
little bit
Mm-hmm.
bigger doesn't mean we don't want cute clothes. We don't want to look like frumpy bag ladies. Like, that's not our goal in life. Just
Mm-hmm.
because I was born with bigger boobs than the next person doesn't mean that I don't want a nice top
Right.
to go places.
I mean, I can't stand when people say like, "Oh, you dress cute for a bigger girl." Like when people tell that to my sister, it drives me knockers. Like it drives me nuts because just like what Brooklyn said, just because she's a little bit bigger doesn't mean that she can't dress right for her body type. She can't find something that looks good for her body type. But because the standard is like, oh, bigger girls don't know how to dress. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. That statement has always made me uneasy.
And it gets said to me more times than not, which at this point it doesn't bother me. Oh, you dress really cute for a bigger girl. Okay, cool. I'm glad. All I took from that is you dress cute. I'm going to stop the sentence there. That's where I'm going to stop listening.
Right.
You dress cute. Thanks. I'm going to take that compliment and I'm going to keep moving. The rest of it you can keep with you. But that's how I look at it. But a lot of bigger women don't have the ability yet or haven't figured out how to process that sentence in that way. Let me take the compliment. I'm going to leave you with the rest. They don't do that. They hear bigger girl and then they're like,
bigger. Exactly.
Oh my God, I'm fat. I'm this, I'm that. And I'm not saying I'm skinny by any means of the imagination. I've struggled with my weight my whole life. I mean, I literally was 12 years old maybe with double D boobs. Like, I was never the girl who was thin. I was on dance team and I played sports and I did tumbling and all that stuff. And I was always the biggest girl. Why? Because of genetics. Not because I eat horribly. I go to the gym every day. You can ask Maddie. 5-6 days a week, I go to the gym.
Every day.
I try not to eat horribly, which is not true today because I did have Taco Bell for lunch and I ordered a bottle.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I saw you drinking it from a Taco Bell cup.
Well, because I was running late to get
That's okay. We love Taco Bell. Don't get us wrong.
to record. So I was like, oh, let me just grab that. And then I ordered a bottle of water and she's like, oh, we're out of water. And I was like, well, I literally told the girl, I said, well, I guess Jesus wants me to have Dr. Pepper today. So, I'm not perfect, but, you can ask my friends and family. I try to eat gluten-free, dairy-free. I try to cut carbs, I try to lead a fairly healthy lifestyle when I can. So my weight has nothing to do with how hard I try, because some people just carry more weight than others and they should not feel bad about themselves. And the fact that designers have not come to that realization, and that's what I'm saying. Sad.
Like, I go to a casting and they're telling me that someone that's a size 4 should be with the plus size girls, but it's and then I'm thinking in my mind, why is that? Is it because the plus size clothing that these designers are making are from a size 4 to a size like 10? Because if that's the case, that's horrible. Plus size is should be all sizes up to, I mean, I don't even know what the biggest size is, but they should start offering such a variety of sizes and not just put a 4 and an 8 and call them plus size.
Well,
are
and
curvy models.
I think once upon a time, you maybe or someone else told me that it's because designers don't like to buy fabric when they make sample sizes. They want to buy the smallest amount of
Yes.
fabric and like make the most amount of garments out of
Yes.
that tiny bit of fabric. Oh, okay, penny pinchers. I get it. I mean, Chanel, you're selling a dress for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 grand. I think you can afford a little more fabric. Let's move
Right.
on. Like,
Of course,
let's get
exactly.
it together. That's not an excuse.
If you watch, you know, like the fashion shows and stuff, they do have plus size models now. And so a lot of people think that we're actively making steps in the right direction. And while I think that's true, you know, like Victoria's Secret just rebranded their whole company. But they only rebranded their whole company because they went out of business because Rihanna started Savage, what's it called? Savage something?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that, I guess. Maybe I lived under a rock when it came to Rihanna. I know that I have
Victoria's Secret went bankrupt.
I know that I have tried in the past to buy from Victoria's Secret, and they don't carry my size. I have to go to Soma, who carries triple D, E, those sizes, because that's what I am. And it's like, Victoria's Secret, you're sitting here saying that you sell undergarments. Well, trashy lingerie and 32B boobs is not who everybody is. Like, where are the bras for the girls who need the bras? Because 32B can probably put some pasties on, call it a day, and move. I can't do that. I have to have a bra on. Sure. Like, you should be, you know, catering to my needs if I have anything to say about it. But luckily I found a place where I could get really good bras. But Victoria's Secret, you went bankrupt because we're not all Kylie Jenner. Like, you've got to cater to everyone, in my opinion.
Well, but I think that's all stores, you know, like you struggle to find short jeans. I struggle to find tall jeans, like just in general, like here we are and we have models wearing clothing, but the jeans that they put on models are a little bit longer than the ones that they sell in store.
Well, I can tell you one thing. I have a very hard time finding jeans that fit me correctly because I'm short. I mean, I am 5'2" and you are 5'10", and we both struggle to find jeans. So unless you're 5'4", 5'6", maybe 5'8", I mean, good luck to you.
Yeah, like, exactly.
And I will say again, when I go to Torrid or Ava and Viv or, you know, brands like that, thank God that they do recognize that women are different sizes, and they'll have like 16 short, 16 regular, 16 long. You know what I'm saying? Because plus size women, not everybody is an Amazon. Not everybody's 6 foot tall and a size 18. Like, some people are 5'2" and you know, whatever. So I think that really becomes the issue, is every woman is built so differently. Some are chestier, some have more hips, some are tall, some are short. And it's like, when do we start finding?
There are brands that have like started making like tall and petite jeans, like Abercrombie and Fitch. I don't know if Aeropostale makes extra longs, but Abercrombie has like stepped up their game. They have a whole curve love section for people who have like bigger hips, bigger butt, smaller waist, and that are tall or short. And then there's Good American, but these jeans are like over $100, and not everyone can afford that.
Well, and that's what I was about to say too, is like, unfortunately, when you get into these specialty sizes, you have to pray that you can afford them, because again, Torrid is meant to be more affordable, but I still pay $50 for a pair of jeans maybe. And you have to realize that obviously not all plus size women are mothers, but a good portion of plus size women are mothers. And as a mother and as a friend of mothers, I know that we tend to spend our money on our kids and our household before we spend money on ourselves. So the $150 pair of jeans, we're probably going to say, no, thank you. we'd rather put food on our table for 3 days than one pair of jeans. You know, not everybody is going to have the option to buy these a little bit more expensive things. Like they need, again, Ava and Viv is a great brand, and Target, you know, a little bit more affordable, things like that. Those are the kinds of brands we need.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I definitely agree. Maybe we should start our own like jean company where we make affordable jeans for short people and tall people of all sizes.
You can walk in, and on the left is all the tall, on the right is all the short, and we'll do a small section in the middle for medium size, since, you know, we can't leave them out, because then that would just be as hateful as we are being, as they are to us.
No, we definitely can't leave them up, but they can also find other jeans elsewhere. But we won't leave them out, don't worry.
So you said Abercrombie, so I just looked it up because I really didn't even know they had a plus size now. And their jeans are $89, which, hey, kudos to them for, you know, having the plus size to begin with. But still, $89, I mean, that's a bit of a hefty price, you know?
But, like, I like American Eagle because they carry longs and they also carry extra longs. Because sometimes I do find long jeans and they're still not long enough. Because I'm all legs, like, my body is 75% legs and 25% torso. I literally look like Mike Wazowski.
I know, you're like a gazelle or a giraffe or something. I don't know. And see, I'm no legs. I have none. They're short and stumpy.
Brooklyn and I are literally polar opposites. If you go and you look at any of our photos, we are completely opposites.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I always say she got the beauty and I got the brains, but I mean, I don't think I'm ugly. I'm just fat. Or I shouldn't say fat. I'm just bigger than most.
No, you shouldn't say fat. I mean, if you take us and all of our cousins and you put us all next to each other, we all look very similar. We have very strong genes in the family.
Yeah. And you know, the other thing is I think that a lot of people overlook the feelings of skinny people too. Because when I was younger, my best friend, Lindsay, the one I was talking about, Nate the Great's mom, she was always super thin. And I would be like, oh, you skinny bitch, I hate you, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, Brooklyn, I eat morning, noon, and night. Like, it's not my fault I can't gain weight. And I hate how clothes fit on me because I'm thin. They don't fit me right in my waist or my butt or this or that. And that goes back to women are built differently. Even skinny women are built differently. And the sooner that we can figure out a way to make clothes just more acceptable across the board for everybody and stop hating on each other, that will be a good day. Because another friend of mine, I remember when the Meghan Trainor song All About the Bass came out, and she was like, it's not my fault I don't have an ass. But like, the song is basically saying, like, if you don't have a butt, then you're not desirable. She was like, and not Lindsay, it was a different girl, but she was like, you know, that's not my fault. Like, I literally, this is how I was born. I wish I had an ass, but, and you know, everybody's insecure. Skinny people are insecure. Bigger people are insecure. Perfectly sized people are insecure. You know, we just got to learn that the grass isn't always greener. Just accept yourself for who you are. Love yourself. If you want to change, great. Make a healthy change. Don't do it because you want to fit some societal norm that's stupid and doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know, obviously, because you're my sister, but it's very difficult for me to go shopping. Every single thing that I put on my body, I am constantly critiquing it. I'm critiquing myself, the way I look in it, because of these, like, society standards, unfortunately. And especially with the industry that I'm in, you know, I'm always getting judged. So I'm quite judgy on myself, but I'm always very insecure about how long something is. You know, springtime is here and it's not normal for me to wear a skirt because all of the skirts are so short, and then are even dresses. And then people are making comments about how short the skirt and the dress is. And then I'm like, well, I guess I'm just going to wear dad shorts and long jeans for the rest of my life because I can't even go out and enjoy an outfit that I'm wearing without someone making a comment about how short it looks.
Well, I know that I can't even count on how many times you've put something on and bent over and been like, can you see my ass? Because if you could, you took it off.
Exactly.
Like, there's just too many. And, and the other thing is that people don't realize, like, as an influencer, you get sent things all the time that you are obligated to put on and advertise and, like, whatever.
Yep.
And how many times as a size 4 do you receive something that you can't even put on your body? Not because you're fat, not because you're skinny, not because you're tall.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I'm saying? Like, it just, things are not a one size fits all.
Just because I'm built differently.
Correct.
And what people don't see is like things look fantastic on models because when you're a model and you're being styled for something, there's always clips. They're constantly clipping clothing. Sometimes they have a seamstress on set where they're literally making the clothes fit you perfectly. There's extra fabric on jeans and dresses and stuff whenever they have taller models. People don't see that. They think that, these clothes always fit perfectly on these models. Well, that's because on set, they have to fit perfectly on you because there's all of these people that are making sure that the clothes look fantastic in the photos, obviously, so that you go out and buy it. But that's not the reality of it all.
No, it's definitely not. And it's sad that the world wants us to believe that this is the way we should feel about ourselves. We should feel about ourselves however we want to feel about ourselves. Stop trying to make us feel bad that we aren't some perfectly portioned woman. And here's the other thing. Women go through a lot. I had 2 children. Do you think my body is ever going to look how I looked when I was 22? And I'm not even sure I want to look 22 anymore because I don't remember how much weight I had on me then. But it's like, your body goes through all these things. Like, your hips spread when you have a baby. They don't always go back together as the way you wanted them to. Your stomach stretches. If you breastfeed, your milk comes in. Like, how do you expect us to look like 12-year-old girls who are double zeros when our bodies experience all these things and we can't help any of them?
For sure. I mean, that's why, again, them considering me a curve model is such like a disjustice for actual beautiful curvier girls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And the
industry is so sad.
They need to find a good, like, this is a plus size model, this is a normal model, and this is a high fashion model. Because I know high fashion models are never probably going to break out of that ultra thin, twiggy look. I get it. That's what it's always going to be. But brands like Michael Kors, Kate Spade, things like that, they're affordable for some women who are normal and typical sizes. They need to be catering to their demographic, not to who they want to buy their clothes, but who might actually buy their clothes.
Exactly.
I wanted to ask you, did you see, going back to last episode, that the lead of West Side Story wasn't invited to the Oscars?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so back to my point about the Oscars, I don't care if influencers are there, but at least invite the frickin' leads. I mean, that movie has 7 nominations, and the girl who put all her heart and soul into that production isn't even gonna be invited to the freaking Oscars. Come on.
That's messed up because she was really, really good.
It's an injustice.
She's very talented.
Yes, I think she'll have a good career, which, hopefully she's invited back another time. Maybe there'll be enough outrage that she gets a last minute ticket this time. I don't know. But if her cast or the movie as a whole wins anything, then she wins an Oscar. And she's not even going to be present to win her first Oscar. Like, how sad.
No, that's horrible. That's horrible. Did you see that Kylie Jenner changed her son's name?
Oh, yeah. Apparently she doesn't want it to be Wolf anymore because it doesn't fit him. Well, I'm not sure what child fits the name Wolf. I mean, kudos. to whoever names their
Be
child
nice,
Wolf.
Brooklyn. Come on.
But I'm just saying, like, I don't think you can look at any child and think this child's a wolf. I mean,
yeah, true. That's true.
I mean, that's a little bit out there name, you know? I don't know. But did you see that Kanye got booted from the Grammys, performing at the Grammys?
Yes. Oh my goodness, I did.
I called it last
That's
episode.
wild.
I said he's going to start getting canceled. I'm just saying. He can't act like an insane person and then not expect to get canceled. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, the repercussions.
Well, and like, I guess, so him and Trevor Noah had like a back and forth, and Trevor was like, oh, I said I wanted him counseled, not canceled. And he is hosting maybe the Grammys or whatever it is. And so they were trying to blame him that he was the reason Kanye got booted or whatever. But it's like, okay, I don't care what Trevor Noah said. Like, you need to cancel him because he needs help,
Right.
mental help. Like, that's where he needs to be, not
Right.
on a stage. Like, go get him where he needs to go before he hurts somebody or himself.
For sure. All right, guys, this concludes today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you guys have any topics or questions you'd like us to talk about, please feel free to DM us on any of our social accounts because we are always open to suggestions.
Yes, definitely. And make sure you guys are following us on all social platforms at The Sister Buzz and tuning in weekly for all our new episodes on Spotify, Apple, Purple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Pandora. Until next time, this has been your Sister Buzz with Brooklyn and Maddie. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.